Hello, welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am LJ Walker. Today, I'm going to be speaking about my day on July 25th, 2020. I am participating in YouTube's documentary series. I hope that this will be informative to you. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that exciting. I'll let you know. As some of you are aware, I've mentioned this before, I actually work at an international law firm. Real estate is one of the things that they do, but they specialize mainly in commercial real estate while I invest in residential. So there's really no conflict there. And I also am an affiliate for what they call law insurance, which serves people who are, middle class to poor. My firm is really more geared towards not individuals, but they're geared towards companies and corporations. Okay. So I'm still on my job. I have a little downtime. What I did, what I normally do earlier besides my job is I try to brush up on whatever skills, because being that it's COVID-19, there are new softwares and new that we have to keep abreast of, that we have to use to help people. In addition to that, we also have new procedures that have been put in place because right now, just about everybody in my firm is working from home due to COVID-19. Okay? So, do I do when I finish brushing up on everything that I need to brush up on? I go and do my side business, which is real estate. Some of you may be aware that I've started my own e-commerce store. I'm still working on perfecting it, but basically I'm going to be providing services for people who are real estate investors. The other thing that some of you are aware of is that I do belong to several mastermind groups. One of the things that my mastermind group does every month is they send us a tape. That particular mastermind group is called the Note Assistance Program. Now, I am limited as far as how much information I can share with you on that particular tape. But basically, it's a list of properties giving me different information about how much the property is owed. It basically lists people, for the most part, who are behind on paying their mortgage. UPB, just in case you're interested, that stands for unpaid balance. Now, due to COVID-19, we've seen an increased amount of property that the banks have given to our note broker. The note broker is actually the mentor or the leader of the group. As of 2020, many of you know, a lot of businesses have closed due to COVID-19. Unemployment has risen, so that's one of the reasons why there has been an influx of the amount of people who have not paid their mortgages. The moratorium has also ended in many states. Banks, they are going to foreclose on many properties, but it's too many properties for them to handle. So what do? You see, just to backtrack a little bit, when you foreclose on a property, a lot of times it takes $5,000 or more to do so. And then once you get that property, a lot of times the homeowners are upset, so they'll tear up the property, either lowering the value, and the value probably already went down anyway. In addition to that, they because they'll tear up the property, that forces you to have to fix it up and secure it. So the bank sells it to a note broker, and then the note broker sells it to various people, right? So basically, what we do is we go through the list and we look at properties that we may be interested in. We look at the numbers first. We eliminate whatever information, extra information we did not need. Excel is something that many notes are going to come in. And also, if you do tax liens, the same thing. A lot of times it comes in an Excel spreadsheet when you especially if you have to download it from the website. I do tax liens as well, but right now I'm just going to show you the note spreadsheet that I have. It's very imperative that you do learn Excel and learn how to manipulate it, because it can be overwhelming looking at a whole bunch of data that you really don't need. In addition to that, I filter down and I choose, whatever criteria I want. Some people, everybody doesn't choose the same thing that I choose. There are certain states that I like for various reasons. And then there are other states that I'm not really all that crazy about. So even though you see me choosing some states right now, just keep in mind that if you decide that this is something that you're interested in doing, that you don't have to choose the same states that I choose. It's just a preference. There are other things that I do as well in order to narrow everything down. Once I get the address, what I do is I'll go over to Google Maps, which I'll show you on this screen. This address, please note that it is not on the list over here. I'm just using it as an example of what I do. Once I narrow down the properties that I want, what I do is I go over here to Google Maps and I look to see what's in the neighborhood, what amenities are by the property that I'm interested in. And then also, what are some negatives? Like for me, right away, I'm not all that crazy about the fact that it is so close to the freeway. Because, see, when you're buying property, you always have to think about your exit strategy. You don't know if, especially when you're dealing with notes, and let's say you're somebody who you don't really want to foreclose on them, but you want to work with them. What you do is, just in case they don't want to work with you and you do have to foreclose on them, you want to make sure that you'll be able to sell that property fast, right? And just so you know, even though these people are behind, even though the moratorium on these states may have ended, there are different organizations out there and there are different state programs out there that help people pay their mortgage during this time. But a lot of people, they are not aware of those programs. So one of the things that I do is I like to tell people, listen, you don't have to apply, but here are a number of programs available that if you did apply, they could help you pay the mortgage. Once they apply and get that going, all of that money would come to a person like me. I have set up a company, so they're not necessarily paying me as an individual. They're paying me as a company. They don't know who I am specifically. Okay? So basically, that's what I do. I work out some sort of deal with the homeowner. I try to keep them in their home. Now, you do have some people who are not going to work out any deals with the homeowner. You have some people who say, okay, you're behind. I'm going to go ahead and foreclose on you. It's really, you know, up to the person. Legally, there is information that you are supposed to share with the homeowner. I go a little beyond what is necessary for me to share so that they can stay in their home. But there are some people that they just give them the minimum, and if that person is not aware of the other programs and they're not able to meet the mortgage, they'll just go ahead and foreclose. While I try to give people a little bit more information to empower them so that they can stay. Now, honestly though, if I see that they've been behind for a number of years instead of just a few months, then I probably won't go too much out of the way, because I'm thinking to myself, well, this person really just wants a free ride. That's just me. Everybody is different. All right. Now, I mentioned tax liens. With tax liens, basically, I would get that information from, you have some sources where you can go and you can pay and you can get a list, or you can go to the tax assessor's office and you can get a list. In addition to doing all of this, I do more due diligence in order to narrow down what type of property I want. And then I send an email off to the people in my note program, the mastermind group. They let me know if it's still available, and then I go ahead and make the purchase and get the ball rolling. When it comes to tax liens, that's been a little bit of a challenge this year because some of the auctions have been canceled. You still have a few that are not online. They want you to go there and appear in person. Well, because of COVID-19, they have been shut down, and they don't know when they're going to reopen. Others are online, so all you have to do is find out exactly the date as far as when it's going to occur, and then go ahead and fill out the process. I'm not going to go, too deep as far as what the process is, but basically that's how I spend my time. Now, once the job is over and once I finish narrowing down what it is that I want, by the way, this is another reason, because we get so many sheets. Look at this. I got 8 sheets of deals, and there's like 54 properties on each one, and we get this like every month. That's why I don't cry over a deal, because there's always one that's coming, especially now. Anyway, what I do when I'm finished with that, normally there's some event that's going on. Because of COVID-19, most events are online. This is one of the events that I plan on doing today. It's supposed to talk about how to improve our finances, how to get clear as far as where we want to go. This particular individual, I saw him on the radio, and he talks about having the members of his church and other churches become financially free. So that is something I'm interested in. It's a free event. I decided to join that. I know that also later on, my mastermind group, they're going to meet in a Zoom conference. Been doing a lot of Zoom conferences lately, just about everything that I get involved in recently. All of the conferences, all of my mastermind groups, all of them are meeting virtually, And normally it's through Zoom. I have one though that meets through Uber Conference. And that one is just a general real estate group that meets every third Saturday of the month. So I'll get on and share with them. Normally we discuss whatever deal that we're in. We'll ask for assistance if we need it, that type of thing. As far as going out is concerned, I'm not sure. I may go out because I have been home most of the week. And the reason why I'm sort of hesitant, I normally don't like to go out unless I have to. I'm in New York City and we've been hit worse with COVID-19. My neighborhood has over 80,000 people in it. So, which is more than what most cities have. I always wear a mask and I always wear gloves. I try to be very careful. We have to stand 6 feet away from people in order to get in and out of businesses. There's normally a line. I don't really have time for lines. So a lot of times I'll pay, for example, grocery store, or I use Postmates and DoorDash for food delivery, Instacart also. That's what I've been doing. But for the bank, unfortunately, I have to physically go to those in person. And there may be a few other places that I may go in person. I also, I'm gaining some weight. So, I may go out just to force myself to lose some weight, do some walking and what have you. But basically, that's it. If it rains today, I'm not really even sure what the weather is going to be. But if it does, there's a number of exercise programs and dance parties that I have. I have both the Wii and I have the Fire Stick. So I look at like Zumba and different dance programs just to keep me active and try and help lose some of this weight. So guys, that's pretty much it. That's how I spend my Saturdays 2020. I've been pretty much a homebody, go out whenever I need to or whenever staying home may get to be a bit much. And I try to be as careful, clean, and healthy as possible. Oh, by the way, too, when I do go out, when I come back in, I have a pot on the stove with water, citrus, ginger, and salt, and a couple of other herbs I put in there, and I'll stick my face on top of it and let the steam come into my face. I take the elderberry and the zinc and the iron and vitamin B and vitamin D. I do what I can. I'm not always good at this, but I try to meditate and I try to pray. That's basically how I have been maintaining myself, my sanity, if you will, in 2020 so far. So, my friends, if you are going to be participating in the YouTube original Film Your Day for today, drop a link if you have a YouTube channel so that I can watch and see, and maybe I can live vicariously through you. See what you guys are up to. And even if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you have any ideas or suggestions, what are you doing to have fun today? If you are having any fun, or, what's your life like? Drop it in the comments of my YouTube channel. I'm kind of curious. Thanks. Bye.